Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be going through my round 5 tips, and I'll also be going through my predictions for the upcoming round 6. So round 5 was a pretty good round for a lot of people. There were a couple of pretty good games. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first game, Brisbane vs Collingwood, Easter Thursday, was a bit of a classic as usual. Brisbane got the job done, as I tipped, and I tipped Collingwood to win the tackle count by over 15, and that did not happen. It was pretty close. Brisbane were tackling quite a lot, which was quite surprising. Next we have North Melbourne vs Western Bulldogs, the Good Friday match, the Good Friday appeal, and the Dogs, well, they proved me wrong. They smashed North Melbourne and they kicked very accurate. I did not predict them to kick accurate at all. I predicted it to be a close one. I predicted that the Dogs don't lead for the entire game, but they were leading for the entire game, and the lowest margin was in the first quarter when it was a goal. And they just did not get it under that again. And then next game was Eagles vs Swans, so it's a double header, Good Friday. Sydney absolutely smashed that, and again, they proved me wrong. I was not expecting that to be a smashing, but it was. And I predicted the Swans have 2 or more goals than the Eagles in the second quarter. That wasn't a very much of a big call. That did happen. Next, we have St Kilda vs Gold Coast to start the Easter Eve games. St Kilda got the job done quite comfortably in that one, and my prediction was the Saints to lead for the entire game. That did not happen, but it was kind of close. Next, we have Adelaide versus Richmond. I streamed this game, and I tipped Richmond a win, and the Crows got the job done, and quite a good game. And I predicted Sloan and Prestia to combine for 2 goals and 55 touches, and they combined for about 39-40 touches, but didn't get the goals. And then Maurice Sloan did his ACL, which is probably the big headline of the week. Unfortunate for the Crows skipper. Hopefully they can get maybe Schonberg back in and replace him, and Laird and Keys have been doing really well. Hopefully, fingers crossed, the Crows don't lose a big ball in the midfield that affects them. Next, we have Melbourne versus GWS. I was watching this game, and I predicted this one to be a smashing, and it was a smashing, and it was even more. There's 4 more goals than I predicted, and I predicted it to be a 7-goal win to the D's. And I predicted GWS to not kick a first quarter goal, and I was absolutely spot on. I cannot believe how spot on I was. Giants kicked 5 behinds. They looked okay. It didn't look like it was going to happen, but I was spot on, and I was amazed. Next, we have Carlton vs Port Adelaide. Go check out my matchday vlog. Probably be in the link in description. It was quite a great game, and Port Adelaide came back from 50 points, and Carlton nearly choked that game. I was very scared. I thought Port Adelaide were going to come back and win the game. In the end, I was only a goal. If Carlton had kicked 1 more goal, I would have gotten that tip fully correct, which would have been pretty amazing, because I wouldn't expect that to happen, because it just doesn't happen. And next we have, for my big call, Port Adelaide have 2 or more injured players, and I believe someone came off for a blood draw, but that's it. That's all that happened. Next we have Essendon versus Fremantle. Fremantle absolutely blitzed the Bombers. I couldn't believe it. I tipped the Bombers in a close one, and the Dockers won that quite comfortably. And my big call. Sorry, there's a spider. Don't know why there's a spider hanging on my hair. Sorry about that. My big call: 7 or more lead changes in the game. It originally was what's it called? Originally was a Fremantle player, a good player, gets a 6-week or more injury. Good thing I changed it, because I don't think anyone got a severe injury in that. O'Driscoll came off. I think Jaden Age came off at the second quarter, but he was good to go. So yeah, good thing I did change it. But there was 6 lead changes, and I was so close, and I couldn't believe how close I was. Next, we had Hawthorn versus Geelong. This was a very good game. I was only watching the fourth real quarter. Really, I just was a bit too busy to watch this game, and I predicted Geelong to win it, and Hawthorn won it by 2 goals, and I predicted the Cats to come back from behind over 3 goals to win the game, but that's nearly what Hawthorn did. They came back from 2 goals from the third quarter time to win this match. Kicked 4 goals to none in the last quarter, and they proved me wrong. They're still going to be a good team. If they can beat these teams like Geelong and pull off these big upsets, and I can still see Hawthorn doing well this season. So that's my round prediction, my round tips, and I got 6 out of 9 for the tips and 2 out of 9 for my big calls. It was very, very interesting. I hope that this week we can get a bit more big calls correct, because the only 2 we got correct, well, one of them was a bit of a random one that probably shouldn't have happened, the Giants one, and the other one was kind of obvious. Should have happened, and it did. Next, we have a big game. So, round 6 to start the game at round 5 at Canberra. We have GWS versus St Kilda. This could be, I'm going to say this for lots of games, don't worry. This could be game of the round here at Giants Stadium. The Giants, yeah, they're coming off a pretty disappointing loss to Melbourne. We weren't expecting them to beat the D's, but to be smashed by 11 goals and a point, that's just ridiculous. That's not okay. But they do welcome back Toby Green. Maybe they can get Taranto more into the midfield. So it should be a pretty good game. St Kilda, after that Collingwood game, I just completely did not rate them. I just ruled their season off completely. But they've showed me the last 4 weeks that they could be a good team this year, and they could be pushing Fremantle out for that 8th spot. Well, especially now that Essendon are doing poorly, and they might not get that 7th spot. So I'm hoping that St Kilda do win this, and for the first time since that Collingwood game, hooray for St Kilda fans, I'm going to be tipping them. I'm going to tip the Saints by 4 points in a thriller, and Gresham and Higgins to combine for 50 touches and 4 goals. They were extremely good against the Suns, and Higgins has had a great season, apart from the Collingwood game. Next, we have Western Bulldogs versus Adelaide. This could be another good game. Then again, it could be a big blowout down at Mars. The Crows have played there quite a bit now in the recent years, and some of their veterans would know how to play there. Smith, Laird, those type of players. They definitely know how to play there. They know the conditions. So I'm really, really hoping it's a close game, because I may stream this game. Well, it's this one or the Roos Geelong game, probably the Roos Geelong game, but probably go the Western Bulldogs by 27 points. I think it'll be a close one, and then the Dogs pull away late, and the Dogs to get 25 scoring shots or more. I believe this will be a high-scoring game. Adelaide forwards were playing really well against the Tigers, and I believe this can be quite a high-scoring affair. Next, we have Port Adelaide versus West Coast. I think Port Adelaide should be able to win. They're coming off a pretty solid loss to Carlton. I mean, that second half, they were really, really strong. Let's be fair. They had 4 goals at half-time, and they just looked lackluster. They just looked like bombing it to the wings, and then they started moving the ball a bit quicker and getting it to their forwards on the lead, and it was working for them, and they nearly came back and won the game. They kicked 9 goals in the second half to 3 goals, and they were really, really impressive. So I reckon Port Adelaide can smash the Eagles, who are coming off a bad loss to Sydney. People were predicting it to be a close one. I certainly did, having Shuey, Kelly, those type of guys back. But I think Port Adelaide can get over the 39 mark and win the game by 40 points. and Port kicked 10 or more goals in the second half. They had a really good second half last week, and I think they can do it again. 10 or more goals is a big, big, big call, though. Next, we have Fremantle versus Carlton. Again, this could be game of the round. Fremantle at the moment, I just didn't really rate them as much as, well, other people did. And now I'm starting to rate them. And now I'm really loving how they use the footy. They're getting it to Tabner, who kicked 7 goals. I still think they need another forward down there, better than Rory Lobb, that will kick goals. Lockie Schultz was out of that game, and I did think that they wouldn't have another goal kicker. But Switkowski was really good in his absence, and Bailey Banfield, his replacement, was decent as well. So they definitely proved me wrong. I still don't think they'll win. I think Carlton will have the strength. It is at Optus Stadium. I have absolutely no idea here, guys. So I may change this during the week. I've got a really good idea for my big call, though. So I'll tip Carlton my 2 for now. Please don't hate me, Fremantle fans, because I'm sure I'll be changing it. So Cripps, Walsh, and Kennedy will do a triple big call of players, collect 100 touches and 2 goals. I think these 3 through the middle can have an amazing game against the Dockers midfield. And they'll kick 2 goals as well. Next, we have North Melbourne versus Geelong. Down at Ballarat, first game, I believe, down there, and then follows the next following day. So this should hopefully be a good game, because I think I'm going to stream this one. I believe the Roos can challenge the Cats here. They're coming off a pretty poor loss to Hawthorn. They just looked lacklustre and tired in that fourth quarter. And it's on a Sunday, so it'll be pretty good timing to do it. Then they've got all the Saturday games. It's a bit of an interesting round. So I'll probably stream this game. I believe North Melbourne can challenge here. In fact, Geelong by 8 points is my tip. And my big call, North Melbourne leads sometime in the game for 15 minutes or more. I think it'll be more than 15 minutes. I just don't want to risk it, because I know that how Geelong would want to get revenge after Hawthorn did do what they did to them last week. Next, we have the Q Clash, Gold Coast versus Brisbane. Hopefully it's a good game. I can't really see this being an absolute blowout, because the Suns are playing pretty good footy at the moment. Marby or Chol could be out though, which could leave them a forward down. In fact, I've got a pretty good idea for a big call. That Brisbane by 34 points, I reckon it'll be like 2 goals of the difference for like most of the time, and then Brisbane just blitz out at the end. And that's actually going to be my big call. Suns have a goalless quarter, but that's not my biggest big call here. And the Lions have a 5-goal blitz in a row. So I think Brisbane can do that. Next, we have Richmond versus Melbourne. I think this could be a quite interesting game on Sunday night. Melbourne are playing really well at the moment. They're just showing the competition why they're the best, and I just don't see anyone going to be knocking them off that throne again this year. And Richmond, they're a top team. They just have to get it done. Melbourne by 3 goals, and then D's kick 4 or more goals in the final quarter. Next, we have Hawthorn versus Sydney. This could be another game of the round. It's down at Tassie. I think the Swans will be hungry. I think the Hawks deserve to win. I think they will win, but I'm going to tip the Swans by 7 points just to be a bit safer. And then got Lewis, Heaney and Gunston to combine for 7 goals. And then the last game of the round, which is the Anzac Day clash, Essendon and Collingwood. I can't believe ESPN tipping says that more people are tipping Collingwood, because I've completely written us off. I do not think we will win. I think we'll get close. I think it'll be a close game, but I just don't think we'll win. Bombers win by 15 points, and the Bombers win the disposal count by 35 or more. I think they can control that really well, just really won't be able to convert. So that's my rankings for the round. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully you enjoyed my prediction calls as well, because it took me a bit of time to get those out. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.